Good morning, dear students of class 8. Once again, I come with you with a new video. Okay, and the next point, our next point is fundamental rights and duties, and the chapter name is the Indian Constitutions. It is the civics part. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the fundamental rights and duties. Okay, so fundamentals right actually this type of rights which we people can enjoy and have to be enjoyed. Okay, so these are the rights which all the people can enjoy properly. If from that rights anyone rights any people not be able to enjoy properly, he or she can, if he or she can wants, then they can go to the court, okay, and they can file the case against that. Suppose someone not given that right, enjoy that right, the fundamental rights. Okay, so we can file the case against that particular person or the group of person. Now we come to know about what is fundamental rights and duties. The Indian Constitution guarantees its citizens certain basic rights. So Constitution have given some rights that people should be enjoy that right. So Constitution guarantees its citizens certain basic rights. These rights safeguard the citizens against arbitrary and absolute use of authority. What is the meaning of arbitrary? Its meaning unfair, okay, which is not fair, which is not genuine, okay, that is the unfair. That means, so these rights, these fundamental rights safeguard means it can save the citizen, okay, use against unfair and absolute use authority by the state. These rights are called fundamental rights. So maybe question come that what is fundamental rights? So that time you will write from here to here. Because they are basic human rights. So these are the basic human rights which any people can get. They are essential for the well-being of the citizens. Fundamental rights advocate ideals such as equality, liberty, and justice. Okay, so the fundamental rights actually its ideals for such as the equality, liberty, and justice. Now we can see here one picture is given and writes the essential of democracy. Okay, so here some hands are given and in their hands something is written. This is the trust, this is the equality, this is the hope, this is the freedom, this is peace, and this is prosperity, this is dignity, this is rule of law, and this is the justice, which is very much important for all of us. Now, fundamental rights advocate the ideals such as the equality, liberty, and justice. They many times are referred to as consent of Indian Constitution. Okay, there are 6 fundamental rights. So how many fundamental rights are there? There are 6 fundamental rights. Now we came to know about the 6 fundamental rights. These are right to equality. So first one is right to equality. This right states that every person is equal before the law. So what is what has written in this particular right? That this right states that every person is equal before the law. So before the law, no person is unequal, all are equal. It means that every person will be equally protected by the laws of the country. It also states that no person will be discriminated against on the basis of his or her caste, color, creed, religion, gender, etc. So, in this point, actually, this fundamental rights, it is saying that all the persons are equal before the law, and it also states that the person will be not no person will be discriminated. That means no person will be differentiated against the basis of his or her caste, creed, color, religion, gender, etc. So everyone will have full access to all public places. That means everyone can go and can enjoy the facilities of the public places such as schools, playgrounds, hotels, shops, etc. That means every people can go to the school. Okay, they have to right to go to the school, they have to right to go to the playground, they have to right to go to the hotels, they have to right to go to the shops. So no differentiation will be created against their religion, their color, their creed, whatever. Okay. Now our next fundamental right is right to freedom. This right ensures freedom of speech and expression to form associations, to reside in any part of the country, and to practice any profession, occupation or business. So what is the meaning of this line? That means that this right to freedom, okay, so this right ensures freedom of speech. That means whatever you want, you can tell to anybody, okay, and expression, whatever your feelings you can express to others, to form associations, to reside any part. So maybe you are in any part of the country, you have the freedom of speech, you have the freedom of expression, and also as well as you can practice in your choice profession, okay, and occupation or business, whatever. The next right is right against exploitation. So this right prohibits human trafficking, forced labor and employment of children below the age of 14 years in any hazardous or dangerous work. So this right prohibits, that means this right not be given the permission. What permission not be given? That human trafficking, forced labor, that means you can't force the laborers, okay, you can't force to the children below, those who are below the age of 14, that you have to do this work, okay. So it may be create any hazards or these are the dangerous work. So those who, if anybody force any children whose age is below 14 years, that means forcefully work, suppose in a shop or in tea shop, in whatever in shop place, that you have to do this job. If anyone force that child, so he or she may be means sent to the jail also. Then our next right is right to freedom of religion. That means whatever religion means, suppose we are Hindu, okay, so Hinduism is our religion. So if I want, I can change my religion. So that is also we have the right. This right provides religious freedom to every citizen of India. Everyone has the right to practice, profess and propagate the religion of their choice. So whatever religion choice in Indian any person, they can choose their religion, they can change their religion. Cultural and educational right. This is the next right. So this right states that any minority where religious or linguistic can set up their own educational institutions in order to preserve and develop their own culture. So what is the meaning of linguistic? linguistic meanings mean is the various type of language. Okay, so suppose in our country we are habituated with Hindi, English, Bengali language, but suppose in South they are habituated with their own language. So for their only they have enjoyed their language, they can get their education, their study only based of their language. So this is the meaning of this, that everybody have the linguistic right also. Educational institution have to be given. And the next is the right to constitutional remedies. This right ensures that the rights of any Indian citizen do not get violated. In case of any violation, a person can move to a court. This is most important, that whatever rights you have, you are enjoying, but don't violate that law, don't violate the rules and regulations. So if anybody violate the constitutional rules and laws, they have to be moved to a court. So, along with fundamental rights, that means with the fundamental rights, some fundamental duties are also mentioned in the constitution. So, not only fundamental rights, but also fundamental duties are there, okay, in the constitution. These duties, though not enforceable by law, were included in the Indian Constitution in 1976. There are 11 duties in total that have been mentioned in the constitution. Okay, so we know that we just read that we have 6 fundamental rights, but how many duties are there? 11 total duties are there. Okay, so what are these? The duties are: first one, to abide by the constitution and respect its ideal and institutions, the national flag and the national anthem. So we should respect our national flag and national anthem. That is why when we are going to sing national anthem, we have to be stand up and stand straight. This is the rule. This is the main theory. Okay. Now the next, to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our national struggle for freedom. Number 3, to uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. So we have to uphold the protect of the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. Number 4 is to defeat the country and render national service when called upon to do so. So that means we have to defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. Now the next, number 5 is the 5th number duties is to promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood among all the people of Indian, transcending the religious, linguistic and regional or sectional diversities. Next, to renounce practice derogatory to the dignity of women, to value and preserve the rich heritage of our composite culture. We have to preserve our rich heritage. Okay. Next, to protect and improve the natural environment including forests, lakes, rivers, wildlife and have compassion for living creatures. The next, to develop the scientific temper, humanism and the spirit of inquiry and reform. The next is to safeguard public property and to abjure violence. Then next number is, the next duties is to strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity, so that the nation constantly rises to higher level of endeavor and achievement. And the last point is, who is a parent or guardian to provide opportunities for education to his child, or as the case may be, word between the ages of 6 to 14 years. That means 6 to 14 years ages children must be take the education. Okay, they should be take the education. Now we are coming to our last part, that is directive principles of state policy. This is our last part of this chapter. Directive principles of state policy. So these are the guidelines that help the government in transforming the ideals enriched in the constitution into laws that promote socio-economic justice, strengthen the democratic system, safeguard our heritage, and maintain peaceful relations with our neighboring countries. So this is the directive principles of state policy. That means the constitution have given some guidelines, and the government in transforming the ideals enriched in. So the constitution in laws that promotes, the constitution promotes the socio-economic justice, strengthen the democratic system, safeguard our heritage, and maintain peaceful relations with our neighboring countries. So this is our chapter, and this chapter is very much important. So all of you are requested to read the chapter properly. Okay, and then we will discuss our question answer part in our Google Meet class. Okay, so thank you.